Hello there, people of the universe. My name is MichSciFi, and in this video I'm going to be looking at some concept art from Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, right away I'll say I'm not a big fan of the sequel trilogy. I did enjoy The Force Awakens because I got to see it in cinema with my brothers and my dad, my two brothers and my dad, which is very much like what we did with Revenge of the Sith, which is my favourite Star Wars film. So the notion of seeing a Star Wars film with my dad, Joseph and Christopher, it did feel good. And while I did like bits of The Force Awakens, I didn't love it. And then The Last Jedi, I utterly despise. I don't like what they did with Luke. And then The Rise of Skywalker, while I appreciate that they tried backpedaling on Luke, it's not done well, and then the rest of the film is a bit messy. That said, if you're a big fan of them, that's totally fine. Tell me which one's your favourite and why. I would legitimately love to know. In fact, tell me in the comments what's your favourite Star Wars film, period. That said, while I didn't enjoy the sequels and was disappointed more or less by all three of them, there were things in them that I did like, and it's in this video that we're going to be talking about one specific thing that wasn't in the film that is instead a concept art that I think if it was either used in the film or in fact used in the next episode, the Rey movie where she's a Jedi Master and she's rebuilding the Order, I think if this idea is used in that film, not only would it be really good for Rey's character, which we know Disney didn't really do much with, but as well, you know how a lot of people, myself included, aren't big fans of Rey taking the name Skywalker. I don't mind the whole family is deeper than blood. That's a brilliant message. It's how I can see Obi-Wan and Anakin as brothers. But for me, the issue is more, I don't personally think Rey earned that title. She didn't do enough that made it work for me personally. However, if we go to this person's Instagram, Brockbank Adam, I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. He's a film concept artist and general comic artist. We go to this image here, early concept art from The Rise of Skywalker, where Rey uses the Force to reclaim the homestead from the desert. Now, for those who don't recognise it, this is Rey on Tatooine, basically removing all the sand that covered up the Lars homestead, aka Luke's home, where he grew up, where he whined, where he drank blue milk, and as well where Anakin, in Attack of the Clones, spoke with his family and found out that his mother wasn't in a good situation. Now, while it is a shame this wasn't used in The Rise of Skywalker, I don't know if, because I know with Zack Snyder, I know he says that he shoots everything he draws. With this, I don't know how far it got. The reason I say it would be really cool if they used it in Episode 10, the Rey film, I don't know if they're going to call it Episode 10, but the Rey movie, if we see her, because I know in Rise of Skywalker, we do see her go to Tatooine, go to the homestead. It's in a bit of a mess from all the sandstorms and just everything that's happened over the years, and it hasn't been looked after, maintained, all those buzzwords. It could be a really brilliant sequence if she goes back to Tatooine again. I don't know why she'd go back, but let's just say she does. Maybe she goes back to get the lightsabers, because why would you put Anakin and Leia's lightsabers in the sand? I really didn't like that. Let's say Dantooine is where the new Jedi Temple is. Let's just say that. But while she does it there, she goes to Tatooine to meditate, to get away from it all. I don't know how far apart those two planets are, if that's even reasonable. But let's just say she goes away from where the temple is to be on her own and cleans up the homestead, removes all the sand. She preserves it and wants it to be her new home, because when she's there, she feels connected to Luke, Anakin in some ways, and she just feels a lot calmer, a lot more at peace. And not only, in my opinion, would this be a really nice moment for the audience to spend with Rey, I also think in some way or another it could be a good way of warming up the audience more to the whole idea that she goes by Skywalker, because I don't have any problem with that. I have a problem with how they executed it. In my opinion, you need to have her earn the title more, or feel more like a Skywalker and feel more connected to her new family. Because as well, there was a rumour, I don't know from who, so don't quote me on this, there was a rumour that for Episode 10, we were going to see Rey being trained or guided by the ghosts of Anakin Skywalker and Luke, which, depending on the writing, that could be brilliant. Hayden's returned twice now for Kenobi and Ahsoka. I love that man so much, and I'm someone who grew up loving the prequels. So it'd be nice to see him again. And then as well with Luke, because that's the only thing I think is left to be done in Star Wars. Have Anakin and Luke have a conversation. I think that would be brilliant. That would be... I love the way Dave Filoni handled Anakin in Ahsoka in his role. It was brilliant. And while Kenobi had a lot of issues, the moment in the past with Anakin and Obi-Wan, it is really good. It adds more to their brotherhood and how sad it is that that was lost. I would love if in a future project we do get Anakin and Luke having their moment. It's why some fans still want to see how did Luke and Ahsoka first meet, because that would be brilliant. I teared up slightly when in the Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka says to Luke, "So much like your father," because that's just, oh, it just gets your heart going. But going back to what I was saying there, the idea of Anakin and Luke helping and guiding Rey, if written well, that could be really good, because maybe Anakin is a bit reluctant on Rey going by Skywalker because of who she is, but maybe Luke eases Anakin and then Rey proves herself, and it's really wholesome, it's strong character, because with all due respect, in my opinion, Rey didn't get a lot of that. She just was good at things. There were some moments of development, for damn sure, but not enough in my opinion. So I would love the opportunity that if during episode 10, while she is also rebuilding the Order, she's also building up herself, if that makes sense, because we're meant to believe in that film she's now a Jedi Master, which that's fine, but I kind of want to see how she got from where she was at the end of Rise of Skywalker to fully fledged Jedi Knight to Jedi Master. I love the notion of that, because we did see in episode 9 she's very protective and she doesn't live by, but she really does appreciate the teachings of those texts. And that is one thing I did like about the Rise of Skywalker. So with all that in mind, what is your guys' opinion? Do you think it would have been cool to see this in the Rise of Skywalker? Or B, do you think, like me, this could be an opportunity to do something like this in episode 10? Because regardless if you do or don't agree with me on the whole, Rey needs to prove herself more, or she needs more development, she might have enough in your opinion. Do you agree with me that this could be a cool moment of character building, regardless of how much you think she doesn't or does already have? But yeah, overall, what are your guys' take on everything I said? Hopefully some of you agree with me, and if you don't, if you've got a different take or a different view, please let me know in the comments. I would love nothing more than for this video to span a little bit of a discussion. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be kind, be good to one another. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
I'm a living legend. You ain't heard yet, you not get the message. From the moment that I'm stepping in, I get a couple weapons. Yeah, I turn to a beast when I'm repping. I'm a living legend.